In this lesson, we will be reviewing Autodesk Inventor's use of sketches in a 2D sketch environment. First of all, before I start up a new part, I'm going to take a look under the Tools, Application Options. And the one that I'm going to be paying close attention to is this bottom one right here, is Auto Project Part Origin on Sketch. It is off by default, but I'm going to recommend that we turn that on. And here's why. So I'm going to just click OK. And I'm going to start up a new part file, and you'll notice when I start up that new part file I have this origin point, and I can use that origin point to basically locate or fix, if you will, that point that's located there. So down here it's showing me 2 dimensions or constraints that are required. Let me turn off that application option. And again, I'm going to start up a new part file, and you'll notice that 0 point is not automatically projected. So in this case, when I draw that rectangle, it's showing me that it requires 4 dimensions. So if I didn't automatically project that, I could come back over to the origin folder and project that center point, but it's really a lot of extra effort, so I really don't need to do that, as long as that application option is turned on. And that will also automatically project that center point while I'm creating other sketches beyond just the original one as well. And you'll see that later in further lessons. So let's continue this. I'm going to close out of the file that I'm in, and again I'm going to start up a brand new part file. And again, my center point is automatically projected. And I have a entry in the browser referred to here as Sketch 1. So it is the very first sketch that was created. And in this case, if I expand the origin folder, there are 3 origin planes, 3 axes, and a center point. I'm going to switch to an isometric view by just clicking the F6 key. And as I move my cursor over each of these planes, you can see how they are oriented, again, to the X, Y, Z. And in this case, the coordinate system, red is the X, green is the Y, and blue is our Z. So we can definitely get that orientation for the planes, the axes, and the center point. Now if you wanted to, you can also turn these on. In this case I'm just going to hold down the Shift key, select all of them, and we can turn on their visibility if I wanted to, or I could turn them off. So the last thing that I wanted to point out here, so I know I'm going to minimize the origin folder. So when I'm in Sketch 1, you'll notice that everything else is grayed out above it and below it. But I also have my sketch tools. They are all available. So for example, I'm just going to place in a quick rectangle here. You'll notice that I'm drawing it in an isometric view. And of course we can go back and we can use our Look At tool that we learned about in a previous lesson. And if I just select on Sketch 1 in the browser, I can look at that from that parallel plane, if you will. So let's go ahead and save this file. And I'm going to put it in Chapter 2. And I'm just going to call it Test. So you'll notice when I did that, it had me exit out of that sketch environment, and you'll notice my part feature tools are now available. So if I want to get back in working, maybe I want to place a dimension or add another set of geometry here, what I need to do is get back into that sketch environment. Now there's 2 ways of doing that. I can click on the Sketch tool, click on some geometry in the graphics window, or click on Sketch 1 in the browser. And you'll notice all of my tools are available here. I can grab one of those lines, erase it, drag and pull whatever else we need to do. So let's do this one other way. I'm going to click Return. That will also exit me out of that sketch environment. I can also just simply double click on Sketch 1 in the browser to make that active. So just keep in mind as you are working with Autodesk Inventor, when we are creating our lines, arcs, and circles, our sketches if you will, we need to be in the sketch environment. And when you're not, you can get back into that sketch environment by either double clicking on the sketch or clicking on sketch, clicking in sketch in the browser, or in the graphics window just select on some geometry that's inside that sketch.